tonight in Life with Elizabeth, featuring Del Moore. Incident number 1 in the life of Elizabeth occurred when she went to the drugstore. And when you go to the drugstore, what do you bring home? Books, naturally. Elizabeth. It's only me. How are you tonight? Frightened? What's that, a mystery story? Well, if it scares you, why don't you call Alvin in to protect you?
Alvin?
Hi, honey, did you call me?
Why don't you read in here with me, darling?
Because I'm reading a very good mystery story, and you have a nasty little habit of interrupting while I'm trying to concentrate.
I won't talk, unless I want you to explain something to me. You're so smart.
Have you noticed that too, dear? Oh, that's fine. That's just fine. No. Oh, hey.
Comfy?
Mm-hmm.
Alvin, these stories are so horrible. Somebody's head just rolled down the stairs. Listen to this. There was a deathly stillness in the house. When the head rolled to the bottom of the staircase, it slowly opened its eyes and said, "My feet. Where are my feet? I've been defeated."
Don't bother me with your head. I've got a ghost over here that's wandering around throwing poison darts at people.
Ugh.
What's the matter, another head?
No, a fly got caught between the pages.
You know, it's funny how they try to build up the suspense, isn't it? The house is always deathly still. Ever notice?
Yeah. And it's always nighttime. Like now.
They kill me with this stuff. Hey, listen to this. As the fog rolled in, it enveloped the house like a sinister shroud. The two of them sat on the couch.
Just like us.
And what should have been a happy scene was filled with the foreboding of doom. They had no enemies that they knew of, and yet there was that mysterious noise that kept repeating like a heartbeat.
Heartbeat?
She didn't want him to know that she was frightened, and even he felt a coldness around his heart. Shall I turn on the radio, dear?
It's broken.
Oh.
That was pretty clever, the way they built up the suspense.
Yeah.
Of course, the house is always way out in the country, isn't it?
This one's in Manhattan.
What was that?
Crickets. Big ones. Oh, honey, now take it easy. Go on and read your book.
Alvin, isn't the house awfully quiet?
Elizabeth, it's supposed to be quiet. It's late. Look, honey, for goodness sake, now don't let a couple of little murder mysteries get you so upset. After all, I'm here.
I know. Darling, I know I'm being positively ridiculous, but will you lock the front door?
Oh, now, Elizabeth, don't get carried. All right, sweetie, of course I will.
Is it foggy?
Like a shroud. Oh, now, honey, look, there's no reason for you to act... Don't... It's just the telephone. Answer it.
Hello?
Charlie.
Hello? Hello? Heaven, there's nobody on the line.
Well, it's just one of those things. Probably my girlfriend. I always tell her if a woman answers, hang up. Hang up.
Now, isn't that silly? Here we are both getting all nervous about a couple of mystery stories.
Yeah.
Now, let's just forget it.
Yeah, let's, sure.
Go on, read your book.
Hear it?
Like a heartbeat.
Misses a beat every now and then.
Alvin, I'm scared.
Now, take it easy. It's coming from in there. Go and investigate it, honey. You don't really think it's a heartbeat, do you? Go see what it is.
If you think I'm going to go in there, you're crazy.
Are you afraid?
Yes.
Well, I'll do it.
This way, Alvin.
Oh.
Getting a little louder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't be ridiculous. It's just a thunderstorm.
Maybe it's a head rolling down the stairs.
Oh, now don't be silly. That's a heartbeat.
Coming from in there.
I know. Just shh, that's not it.
Honey. Here's your heartbeat.
I shall leave you at this point, Elizabeth.
Why?
I'll go get the cups and serve the coffee.
Elizabeth, you're a sissy. Aren't you ashamed? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And in just a moment, we'll bring you incident number 2 in Life with Elizabeth. Incident number 2 in the life of Elizabeth involves another Sunday afternoon on the front porch watching the neighbors. I believe you've already met Mrs. Skinridge, who lives next door. But I wonder if you know that a new neighbor has just moved in across the street. Of course, there's nothing unusual in that, except that Mr. Jack Boniface just happens to be very tall, very handsome, and very apt to make a husband jealous.
I'm whittling and whistling all day long. I'm whistling and whittling all day long.
Now, the lunch dishes are all done. We can just kind of... Well, howdy, partner. Mind having a set a spell?
No, don't, ma'am. Pull up a chair and set a spell.
Thank you kindly. Oh, I can't spell very good, but I sure can set.
I'm one of the early settlers myself.
Oh, it's a nice view out here. Mighty clear picture.
Yep. Trouble is, there's only one channel.
Yeah, but look at the size of the screen.
You're a real character.
Honey, say hello to Mrs. Skinridge.
Oh, she got her gossipy old head over the fence again. Hello, you old bat.
Alvin says, how's your cat? Please, she still owes me a cup of sugar.
Well, don't look so worried, honey. She's only a neighbor.
Neighbors are very important. Besides, she's a real power in the neighborhood. She can have your library card revoked just like that.
Say, aren't you the one who told me the less you had to do with your neighbors, the better off you are?
Well, I may have said that once, but I've changed my mind.
Why?
Oh, I've just changed my mind, that's all. What are you working on?
Oh, Slingshot. That a beauty? I haven't seen one of these since I was a kid.
Alvin, put that down.
Oh, give me just one shot, honey. Look at this.
Alvin, give me that slingshot.
Oh, honey. All right.
You're not holding it right. We need some rocks.
I'll get them.
Remember, they have to be roundies, no flatsies or jaggities.
Here's a pebblesy. Now, let's get us some rocks.
I had one, but you spoiled it.
What?
Dime says I hit it.
Okay, you got a bet. Hey, wait a minute. Hit what? Wait.
That fence.
Oh, no. Pick out your target after you hit it.
Well, if you're stupid enough to make a bet like that, that's your lookout. Dime says I hit that tree.
Now, that's more like it. Which tree? Wait.
That one.
Oh, I'd make one of those sure bets myself. A dime says that I hit the porch.
Dime says you hit your foot.
Bet? Boy, whenever I make you know I hit it.
Alvin, give me that. It's my turn anyhow.
No, you've had two turns.
Come on.
No, you've already had two. No, you've had two turns.
It's my turn.
Look, you make your own slingshot. I'm going to have my own.
Alvin.
Get out there.
How do you do?
Missed. How do you like
Alvin?
that? Put these things on.
Nice day.
Look at this. Try this.
Alvin, will you stop making a spectacle of yourself?
What are you talking about? I'm holding it just the way you told me to.
Yeah, well, why don't
Get
you
this thing going
go
quick.
in the house? I think I hear the potatoes ringing. Phone's boiling over.
What's so fascinating across the street?
Nothing. It's just our new neighbor.
So that's why you changed your mind about getting to know the neighbors.
Don't be silly, Alvin.
I thought it was a little strange you're acting like a lady all of a sudden. When did tall, dark, and repulsive move in?
I don't know exactly. I'd guess about 11:53 yesterday morning.
About 11:53.
Let's talk about something else.
Spread it on a little thicker, Elizabeth. You can't see it from across the street.
Don't be ridiculous, Alvin.
The fact that Purdy Boy over there is walking around in a T-shirt would have nothing to do with it, huh, Elizabeth? Forgot your eyeshadow. Posing will get you nowhere, Elizabeth. He's washing his car.
I'm not posing. Just that he's new in the neighborhood, and I just don't want him to think that all we do is go leaping around the lawn with slingshots.
Oh, brother. That was some production. What did he say?
I don't know, but he said it beautifully.
Well, let's go inside. It's getting a little cold out here.
Sure it isn't getting jealous out here?
Jealous? Who of what?
You of him.
I never get jealous, and you know it.
Oh, no. There's my husband. My father's a much older man. Sit down.
Nerve.
you jealous?
Yes.
That's all I wanted to know. Dime says I hit the tin can.
Honey, wait a minute. He's watching, honey.
So what? He served his purpose. Dime says I hit the tin can.
Which one?
That one.
Dime says I got a kiss.
Which kiss?
This one. Hey.
Thank you. Just a moment. We'll bring you incident number 3 in Life with Elizabeth. Incident number 3 in the life of Elizabeth occurred the day the car was being repaired down at Elmer's garage. If we hurry, maybe we can catch Elizabeth and Alvin before they have to go down and get it.
Did you find the number yet, honey?
Honey, there's no listing for Elmer's garage.
Well, it wouldn't be listed like that. He thinks of himself as a doctor when it comes to working on cars.
Doctor?
Yeah, look up Elmer's Mechanical Sanitarium.
You must be kidding.
No, I'm not. To Elmer, each car he works on is like a patient. Try Elmer's Horsepower Hospital. Oh, wait a minute. Elmer's Car Clinic. Where are you going?
This I've got to see.
Oh, don't forget. Now, he's very sensitive. And sometimes he even cries.
Yeah, he cries. Yes, I know.
He does cry.
Where do I
I'm
get a
not
hold of that
kidding.
thief?
Honey, let him finish before we talk to him.
Looks like he knows what he's doing on that form.
Oh, hello.
Go ahead and finish, Elmer. We can wait.
Oh.
Help him, honey.
Sure.
It's moving.
Yeah, that ought to do it. Most unsanitary doctor I've ever seen.
Well, look at the hospital they gave him to work in.
Care for an olive?
You mean this is...
Look at the size of the can opener. Oh!
Hasn't he ever heard of soap?
Alvin. Elmer, this is my husband, Alvin.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you...
Yeah, here.
Looks like you struck oil.
Elmer, I'll take over from here. My wife, the clown over there, brought our car in to have the horn fixed.
The horn wasn't exactly broken. It was just indifferent. It didn't give a hoot.
Will you please be quiet, Elizabeth? Now, look, Elmer, Look, if you'll stop popping those olives in your mouth like a machine gun, I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
You know, what worries me is what's he doing with the seeds?
Is the horn fixed, Elmer?
Yeah, sure.
Black olives. Well, that's more like it. Now, how much?
Alvin, isn't the wheel supposed to be in the car?
It helps. All right, Buster, what's been going on here?
Well, I'm sure Elmer has a good explanation, honey.
I'm waiting.
You wouldn't want to drive a car with worn-out steering knuckles, would you? Well, the poor little things are worn out. When I think of the strain that you put on their weak little bodies every time you turn this wheel, I get cold shivers up and down my spine.
You see how sensitive he is?
Elizabeth, I happen to know that you don't have to take the steering wheel off to get to the steering knuckles. That man is a crook.
He is not. Besides, he knows more about it than you do.
I doubt it.
Here are the steering knuckles.
Look, Alvin, they even look like knuckles.
You're pinching my fingers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wondered why they had nails in them.
Look, your part of this conversation is useless. Go sit in the car. I'll tend to this.
No, I want to hear more about the steering knuckles. Are they important, Elmer?
These little fellas saved your husband's life every day. They should have broken long ago, but they didn't. Not these little fellas. They held on with all the strength in their thin, worn-out little bodies while he twisted and turned the steering wheel to his heart's content.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Me too.
He won't do it again, Elmer. Elmer?
Elmer.
Elmer? Elmer! Did you find anything else wrong with the car?
Just the generator. I got it here.
Hey, wait a minute. This guy actually had me feeling sorry for a couple of steering knuckles. He must have had me hypnotized.
Well, it happens to me every time I come in here. Alvin, do you think maybe if we don't look into his eyes, maybe he won't have any power over us?
Hey, that's good.
Here it is.
Don't look now.
Tell us about the poor little generator, Elmer.
This poor little fella has to supply electricity for the entire car, all by himself. Notice the courageous little armature, all frazzled and burned through neglect. These are the brave little brushes, almost exhausted, but never faltering until lack of lubrication finally drives him to a squeaky demise. You did this?
Elmer, I can't understand it. Alvin's always so good to animals. You two finish discussing it. I think I'll go sit in the car as long as it's right here.
Elmer, don't tell anybody about this, will you? I'd hate for the fellas down at the office to know that I was a car beater.
No.
By the way, how's the fuel pump?
The fuel pump is a gallant little mechanism which you almost destroyed by feeding it cheap gas.
Cheap gas? You let me tell you something,
Honey,
Elmer.
wait a minute, honey. Don't. Elmer's telling me about the gallant little fuel pump.
What do you want me to do? Play hearts and flowers?
Well, honey, what are you mad about?
Ask him. Ask him how much he's going to charge us for the oil he smeared all over the upholstery.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Elmer. That makes her awfully mad.
Well, I'll clean it off for you.
You keep away from it with that pirate's flag.
Now, honey, you go sit down and let Elmer tell me about the gallant little fuel pump.
I'm sorry, Alvin. The spell is broken. How much you going to charge us for fixing the horn and the pig's knuckles and the fuel pump?
Fuel pump.
Fuel pump.
Well, I got the bill right here.
He's got the bill.
You're absolutely right, Alvin. That man's a thief.
Now, honey, don't get mad because he got the upholstery a little dirty.
A little dirt. Go take a look at it. It looks like midnight in a coal mine.
$73.10.
That's what I'm... 73.
What are you doing?
Well, as long as he's going to hold us up, we might as well go through the motions.
She's right, Elmer. We came in here to get the horn fixed. Are you sure you have the right car? Ours is the green coupe with the white sidewalls.
And no steering wheel, and then the black plaid upholstery.
Now, I'm sure that he has an explanation for this, Elmer.
I'm waiting.
Well, I had to climb in a car to fix the clock, didn't I?
Oh, well, yeah, that's... The clock!
Hey, wait a minute.
We brought it in to have the horn
Look
fixed.
at this.
It won't work, Alvin.
Do you know why it won't work?
No, why?
I didn't know.
It won't work because you vibrated it to death. That's why. This little thing sits in the middle of your dashboard trying to tell you what time it is. And what do?
I don't know.
You vibrate him to death like this.
Now, Elmer, we're not going to fall for that
Now, put your
anymore.
hands on mine.
Oh, Elizabeth, this is awful.
How would you like to have your mainspring kicked around like this?
You two better cut that out. You're going to have butter.
Elizabeth, don't be like that.
Now, stop.
it, you two.
Mile after mile, this helpless little clock gets this kind of treatment. Rough roads, corduroy roads, nasty old alleys.
Well, it just didn't occur to us, that's all.
Well, it's probably all my fault, Alvin. I remember the time I drove it up the railroad track?
Yeah.
And then all these curves and white sidewall tires.
Hey. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
Thank you. In just a moment, Betty White will return to say goodbye. Now here to say goodbye to you is the lovely star of our show, Betty White.
Thank you, Jack. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. You know, a thing like that can get to a person after a while. I hope you have half as much fun as we do every week. And be back with us again next week, will you? In the meantime, once more, goodbye, everybody.